Network. Jesus Christ. Are you One-Eyed Tony?
I'm trying to stand up for HK, bro. I'm trying to, he's doing his best. Yeah. Hey, anytime. One little guy to
another. Why don't you guys get your fucking shit together, please?
Hey, how about I shit on you? I'm a duck. I could fly
That's
over
something
your
I'd
house.
like to see.
Hey, get that cat out of here.
That's a very realistic looking puppet, Matt.
Yeah, put your hand up there. See what happens.
I don't know why you gravitate towards the duck when the chef was so fucking brilliant.
Hey, nobody gives a fuck about the duck.
Okay,
I
so
love
KG,
the duck.
I love to fuck. I'm a fucking duck.
That's what I love the most about the duck.
Yeah.
She loves to fuck.
Yeah, lay some eggs, we have some breakfast, then we fuck.
We scramble the eggs.
Fuck yeah, right in my ass.
KG,
With my
KGG
hook.
assigned us 2009 TNA Turning Point Homicide Amazing Red. Why did you give us this for homework, KGG?
So, for no other reason than Homicide had his last match. He is no longer an active professional wrestler. So I wanted to think of a match that was a little outside the box other than his great stuff. You could pick any match that he had in Ring of Honor, stuff with Brian Danielson, all that stuff. I wanted to go a little obscure, little TNA action. So I picked Turning Point match with Amazing Red, and also because there was a little special bonus in the storytelling of this match where Don West was the personal promoter of Amazing Red. This is for the X Division Championship. The match itself was great, short, I want to say about an 11-minute match, maybe 12-minute match.
I think it was less than that, actually.
Well, with intros and stuff, I think it was the total runtime was like 13, but actual in-ring was about 11 minutes, I want to say. And it was a fun match. The crowd was insane, chanting continuously for Amazing Red. He's amazing. With Don West out there, I thought that was interesting at the time. So that's why I picked it. And I thought the match was fantastic. X Division Championship, Amazing Red. Does retain the championship in this match, so I thought it was a dope match.
I think that the part that I loved about it was also the part that bothered me about it.
Don West.
No, I for the most part, I just kind of I just tried to forget that he was even out there. But like watching it again, I enjoyed the match. But the thing that I loved about it was also the thing that really bugged me. It reminded me so much of like a Rey Mysterio Dean Malenko match, which I love. I love when those guys work together. But watching it, I was like, boy, they're doing such a good job of implementing different elements, like Homicide with like more power moves, but still, not a big guy. So like right away, I was like, this is Dean and Rey all the way, which is something that I love. But I could not stop fixating on like, I think I've seen this spot with Dean and Rey.
Right, and that's a great like contrast or a great comp. But like Homicide is like so much more. I think he's a lot bigger than Red as opposed to Dean Malenko was to Rey.
Well, I had Amazing Red as Rey and Homicide as Dean.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that the size difference is a little more like different than. But your point is well taken, and it's a great one. And so that's another reason why, like, not even thinking about it until right now, until you mention it, that it's such a good comp. And you're right. Homicide was doing the Dean moves. He was playing the bigger guy, right? You have to play the bigger guy, and you have to work with the smaller guy like Amazing Red. And Amazing Red, man, God, he's so good. Like, he's so good.
The one thing that I enjoyed was like Homicide would let things sink in too.
Yeah.
But he would show charisma, and like that was the one thing. Like while I was watching it, I was like, okay, well, Dean didn't have that same kind of charisma about him to turn and play to the crowd after he hit something big, or let that sink in and kind of pull more heat. That's not the way he worked.
Right. So that Homicide is way more of a character than Dean was.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, he was a tremendous asshole in this match, and I mean that in the best way. Like, you didn't always get to see that from Homicide, too. Yes, exactly. So he was just like right in his element in this match.
Yeah, I love the Homicide rocking the Misfit shirt. It was fucking cool.
Yes.
It's nice to know that Taz's yam bag shtick isn't something that he's just picked up in AEW.
Great point.
And here's a fun trinket for you, KJG. I know the crowd was wild because there were plants in the crowd, and one of them was Brian Minarick, who got us those passes to that Ring of Honor show at the Hammerstein Ballroom. He's in the front row. Every time they pan to Don West, he's got like a blue shirt on. I noticed him immediately.
Did you know that?
I knew he worked for TNA. I didn't
Right.
know he was in the front row for this.
He wasn't the emo guy in the front row.
Define
You see
emo.
that guy?
No.
With the shitty emo haircut and something like that. He was like front row center.
No, because this kid was off to the wherever Don West was. He was a little towards the left of Don West.
Okay.
Yeah, seeing Don West out there too as the promoter was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the match itself was an easy watch. It fucking flew by. I did chuckle every time the GWN network thing would come up.
The Global Wrestling Network.
The only thing that really bothered me was every time they went to like the ringside camera, it was like Kevin Dunn was fucking filming it. It was so shaky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of shaky, a lot of zoom in and zoom outs, especially
Yeah.
in the first couple of minutes. It was
It
bad.
didn't really hurt the match, but it was just like it hurt my watching of the match, if that makes sense.
And
Yeah,
also, I'm not a huge fan of the 6-sided ring, but to go back and watch this again with it was kind of nostalgic. Like it made me feel okay.
I love the 6-sided ring.
Yeah,
That was the thing. Like to me, like I stumbled upon TNA flipping through channels. Like I obviously they had their weekly pay-per-views, which I caught at a fair amount of them at a friend's house. But like when they made Fox Sports Net, like flipping through the channels and catching that 6-sided ring. That's why I stopped, and that's why I stayed with them in the beginning because it was different. It was completely different. It was something to stay with.
He stopped because it said TNA on the guide. Let's get that straight.
You fucking pervert.
Because I didn't have the internet, Brundo.
Did you not
Hey,
have
it was dial-up times at times. It took a little.
I
time
know,
to
it was-
download
it
No,
was-
it was
yeah,
not
no.
dial-up times then.
I mean, he is in the Midwest, so he could have been a couple years behind KJG.
Yeah,
He just
exactly.
figured out how the post office works. So
So yeah, Tony, what did you think of this match?
aside from the camera jumping, there was the one spot where Amazing Red went off the top and Homicide kind of hit a cutter that kind of looked like it was flubbed a little bit. But what I did like was like HK said, a lot of Homicide taking control, slowing things down. I like that Amazing Red was aerial, but he only did one dive to the outside, and everything else was simple stuff in the ring. It looked flashy, but it wasn't over the top flashy, and it was all effective. And the finish was exactly the finish it needed to be. Like there were a couple of kickouts at 2, like early on, where it was like they were good false finishes. But that last one, when he hit the code red, like that was it, done, over. And thank God for that,
Yep.
I enjoyed it. And like Matt said, it was a quick watch. It was easy. I felt nauseous in the first fucking minute or two, but after that, and I did like after a while, at one point, Homicide went to powder, but there's 6 turnbuckle posts and not 4. And when he went to slide out, he saw it was behind him, so he quick rolled and he rolled out. And then for good measure, while he was running past Don West, he just gave him a shove, which I thought was fucking great ring presence. And then by the time he turned around, that was when Amazing Red hit the dive. It was fucking perfect. I enjoyed it, man. It was a TNA match that I could give a thumbs up to.
Yeah, man.
yeah, no, I agree. Great pick, KJG. Is there anything else anyone would like to add about this match?
Oh, did anybody else think it was weird that Amazing Red was just like kind of holding the belt and it was always like snapped together? Like it was just weird. Like you figured he would have it on his shoulder, around his waist or something, but it was like just kind of snapped and he would just hold it up. I don't know.
So
That
he's
was
holding
kinda
it
weird.
like this, kind of.
Exactly, Brundo.
That's a great puppet you got there.
Rondo never misses an opportunity.
Fucking smarter than you are. Shining Wizards champ. Better than you.
Oh God, Brendo's gonna fucking Brad Maddox that fucking belt.
Surprised he hasn't done it already.
Who said I didn't?
Yeah, that's a very good point.
It was a good point.
Right in the fucking eye.
All right. I think
Battle
I'm
Riot.
up for,
Yeah. No.
I think I'm up for homework this week because Tony will not be here next week.
Yep, which means I get to send you guys a video production next week.
Hell yeah.
At least I know I'm doing video next week, and I can. Are you not going to be here for the Maniac Glenn Osborne?